Welcome to The Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here. Today, we're taking a highly structured, fun journey straight into the control room of human cognition. And to help us navigate these weird, everyday cognitive anomalies, we've got some lovely, soft, paper-cut style animations, mostly featuring our feline friends and their animal companions. We're going to explore those exact moments where our brains just seem to stutter. So, picture this. Have you ever walked confidently into a room, stopped dead in your tracks, and completely forgotten why you went in there to begin with? It's kind of like a cat wandering into the kitchen and just staring blankly at the refrigerator door for absolutely no reason. Well, let's dive right into this. That exact experience actually has a formal name. It's called the doorway effect. And far from just being silly, forgetful little mistakes, these highly relatable brain glitches are actually fascinating windows into how our minds really work. They show us exactly how our subconscious mechanics operate behind the scenes, literally dictating our actions before our conscious mind can even catch up. Section 1. The subconscious playground. Basically what our minds do without our permission. To really understand these glitches, we first have to look at the subconscious because it handles a staggering amount of unseen work in the shadows. There's this jaw-dropping study out of the Future Minds Lab that captures this perfectly. Researchers asked participants a simple question. Choose between imagining a red horizontal or a green vertical striped pattern. Using fMRI machines, they tracked their brain activity. The astonishing result here, the researchers could predict the participants' choices up to 11 seconds before their conscious minds actually decided what to visualize. 11 seconds. Your subconscious is essentially working a whole shift before your conscious mind even clocks in. Moving to Section 2, seeing faces everywhere. This is all about the phenomenon of pareidolia. Now that subconscious predictive power spills over into our vision too. It creates pareidolia, which is our instinctive habit of seeing faces in totally random things. And this isn't just a modern quirk of us staring at clouds. Even Leonardo da Vinci observed that if you look at spotted walls, you could see landscapes and strange expressions of faces. It's actually an ancient evolutionary survival tactic. It helps us instantly spot a friend, a predator, or prey out in the wild. Think about a simple illustration of a house. If it happens to have two windows and a door that vaguely look like eyes and a mouth, much like the cute, surprise paper-cut homes in our theme today, your brain does a lightning-fast reverse search. It combs through all your past experiences and finds the absolute best match, which is usually a face. We just automatically assign emotions to inanimate objects. And this subconscious reflex is so deeply ingrained that studies actually show placing watchful eyes above a bike rack significantly reduces bicycle theft. Just the mere illusion of being watched totally alters human behavior. The biological hardware behind all this is a specific region in the visual association cortex. It's called the fusiform face area. It's highly specialized for pattern recognition. And to understand just how crucial it is, consider what happens when it gets damaged. In certain stroke victims who suffer damage to this precise area, they completely lose the ability to recognize human faces. Literally, even the faces of their closest loved ones. Section 3. Mapping and replaying memories. Let's look at how the brain visualizes and actually stores the world. So how exactly does our subconscious store all this information? Well, functional magnetic resonance imaging scans track what are known as bold signals. That's blood oxygen level dependent spikes. And these reveal functional networks that light up together. A super important one is the default mode network. When you just zone out or daydream, this network activates, building a literal neural highway between your subconscious imagination and your conscious processing. At the granular level, this mapping is just incredible. Back in 1971, researcher John O'Keefe discovered that our supporting cast members, rats, have what are called place cells. These are neurons that only fire when the rat is in a very specific physical location. And what's wild is that during slow-wave sleep, the rat's brains rapidly refire these exact same sequences. They're performing a sort of mental time travel, replaying the maze in their sleep to consolidate what they learned and solidify those memories. Section 4. The Déjà Vu illusion. Why the new feels strangely familiar. But what happens when that whole memory filing system glitches? Well, that brings us to déjà vu. That eerie feeling that you've lived an exact moment before. It's experienced by about 2/3 of the population, mostly between the ages of 15 and 25. Science actually has 3 completely distinct, fascinating theories for this misfire. First, the hologram theory suggests a single fragment, like a smell, triggers a hazy recreation of an entire memory. Then, dual processing argues it's just a timing glitch, where a single moment is accidentally processed as two separate events. And finally, divided attention posits that your unconscious peripheral vision registered a scene just a split second before your conscious focus locked in. Now, outside of strict neuroscience, there is also a spiritual perspective that many people turn to. Neutrally speaking, from this viewpoint, this sudden, inexplicable sense of familiarity is attributed to subconscious recollections of past lives. Anecdotal stories, which often surface through past life regression therapy, suggest that feeling instantly comfortable in a foreign city or experiencing an immediate connection with a total stranger might actually be your subconscious recognizing a former home or a past relationship. Section 5. Theories of brain glitches, unraveling recognition without identification. Returning to the cognitive models, memory researchers actually test these glitches in a lab environment. In one fascinating experiment on recognition without identification, participants were shown celebrity faces and famous scenes. And even when they absolutely could not name the celebrity or the place, they still rated the images as highly familiar. But this only happened if they had studied the names on a list beforehand. Their brains registered the familiarity without being able to pull up the explicit memory of the actual name. This happens because human memory relies heavily on feature matching. An episode isn't stored as one single video file in your head. It's stored as a set of individual features, like a specific lighting angle, a geometric shape, maybe a color tone. When you walk into a brand new room, if it shares a subtle subset of features with an older, forgotten memory, it triggers a massive familiarity signal. Your brain is basically yelling, match, even though the overall context is completely different. And get this, it doesn't just happen with what we see. There are auditory glitches too, like déjà entendu, which literally translates to already heard. This is when a brand new song on the radio suddenly feels like a deeply familiar nostalgic tune simply because it overlaps with some musical features or chord progressions stored deep down in your audio memory. It all brings us to a rather stunning realization about the vast, hidden power of the mind. From choosing patterns 11 seconds before we even realize it, to creating faces out of shadows, to conjuring the ghost of past memories from a single geometric shape, it really leaves us with a provocative thought to end on. If our subconscious is already constructing our reality, making our decisions, and coloring our perceptions before we even consciously log on, well, how much of your free choice is truly yours? Thanks so much for watching this explainer. I will see you next time.
Knowledge grows through sharing. What are your thoughts on today's topic? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe as we continue to grow together.